So basically, we're a global market leader in the customer experience industry, covering customer engagement, employee engagement, as well as business analytics. 25 years of CX leadership, 25 billion interactions per year handled via platforms, both in the cloud and on-premise. 1,200 partner network across the globe, 11,000 customers, 5,000 employees, and we've got presence in over 100 countries across the globe. From the top 100 top global brands across the globe, the ones in, like our Chief Marketing Officer likes to call Dutch Red, are the ones that we is currently using our platforms. So you'll see, I suppose, in relation to the topic we're discussing today, online retail, you'll see IKEA, eBay, Uber, as well as a big one, Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Apple, and so on and so on. So we've got some very big brands in the top 100 across the globe that's running on our customer experience platforms. But enough about that. So, top trend that we've seen that's impacting retail, obviously based on marketing research and all the analysts, are lost margins on retail assets and shopping cart abandonment. Now, obviously, we know that there's always the fight for the next best special. So if we think about ourselves shopping online, you're always looking for who can give you the best price, and which is most convenient. If we look at the Dimension Data State of Customer Experience report of 2019, and across several others, the number one thing that influences customer experience is the ease of a customer to contact a company, which includes, obviously, the purchasing journey and how easy that would be. Then secondly is the omni-channel service gap. Now, or convenience gap. What that means is really, once a customer has gone to your online retail store or to your e-commerce platform, when they do need to contact you and they get through to a representative, as an example, maybe via voice call, firstly, they're very difficult to find the contact information on those websites sometimes. But when they do get through, and sometimes there's no option, but when they do get through, the representative normally does not have the context of your journey and any previous journeys. And that could be your, like Marek stated, the brick and mortar stores. So they might not know that you've gone to the store this morning, and the reason why you're calling might be something to do with the product that you purchased, or the online journey that you followed. So that omni-channel, to be able to see every contact point that customer has had with you as a company or becomes very important when it comes to customer experience, which in turn influences the buying decision, because that drives empathy from your side towards the customer, which in turn drives loyalty and also trust. Right, and then lastly, it's still seen the one, let's say, gap or the one item in that whole flow that still seems to be an item that needs transformation is the retail supply chain. So obviously, once you've ordered online, the whole logistics behind getting that product to you as a customer in a timely fashion correctly. So, the challenges. Now, there are many, many, many challenges. I think we all know that there are many challenges when it comes to online retail and digital commerce or e-commerce. And I'm not going to cover all of them. We don't have enough time. So I'm just going to focus in on just a few that is pertinent to what I want to demonstrate to you later on. I'm going to tempt fate and try to do a live demonstration of what I want to show you, how we can help you. So first of all, during the course of 2019, according to Statista, the global spend from marketing, for digital marketing, reached $209 billion. But the most important factor there is only 3% of that spend actually resulted in a conversion. So 97% of that marketing budget never converts. So that's quite if you think about it, that's not shocking, but it's quite a concerning figure, meaning that you're spending such a lot on digital marketing across all platforms, social, email, even television, I suppose, that you're not getting lots of ROI on that. And one of the big reasons for that is online shopping cart abandonment. Now, we know that, so even if you think about, let's say the primary one that comes to mind in the likes of Amazon, let's say locally Takealot. So you'd add something to your cart, and then you'd go away, and that's fine. And you'd get a message later on in the app to say, hey, you've left stuff in the cart. And that's great. But firstly, the concerning number here is in 2018, it actually reached the highest of 75% cart abandonment. So all of that spend on digital marketing that you've done gets the customers to your website, and they're browsing, and they're looking at the product. They've added to the cart, but 75% of them didn't go away, either goes to another site, because maybe they can get it cheaper there, or perhaps they get cold feet. So that's very concerning. And then also talking to that, because there's so many options, you've got a lot of competitors, it's difficult to differentiate. The average time that people spend on those digital platforms are 6 minutes. So you've basically got 6 minutes to influence that buying journey, if you could. All right? So everybody that has online retail shopping or sites have platforms like Google Analytics running, Google Remarketer, Adobe Marketing Platform, all of that running, and that gives us some great insights. The one missing gap there is real-time engagement. So you can influence, you can get marketing information, you can get lead information from those platforms, see what your marketing attribution is. But you don't have, at this point in time, in general terms, a way to influence that buying journey at the right time in real time. So that short window of right timing. So that 6 minutes is the only time you have really to influence that buying journey, and that's one of the things that we at Genesis think can help us make more or get more value out of that digital marketing spend that we're doing. Right, and that's exactly where just Genesis Predictive Engagement comes in. So built on Genesis Cloud, native cloud application in Amazon Web Services, built on Amazon microservices with Genesis AI at the back end. So this is one of those focused applications of artificial intelligence. Now, when we talk about artificial intelligence in the market, sometimes it's a very broad concept. So we think about artificial intelligence, and the first thing we think of is Tesla, as an example, automation of the car, automated driving platforms. So it's really important to, when you apply AI, to apply it in the very specific circumstances where it's going to make a difference. And this is exactly where this comes in. So firstly, using Genesis AI on your website, qualify your visitors' buying intent to the real-time analysis of their activity. So in real time, much the same as Google Analytics is doing, but you can see that in real time happening. So tracking every journey on your website based on the outcome that you want to achieve. So your outcomes would be, as an example, reduce shopping cart abandonment. Or your outcome could be a new special. Think about the telco carriers over December. They always have specials. Or when Samsung launches its new mobile phone, there's always specials running. So that could be the outcome, to try and drive as many sales of that product as you possibly can, or even clothing articles. Then, based on that journey and what the customer is doing, predict the buying interest of that customer to determine the most appropriate offer. So again, leveraging machine learning to understand, based on the journey that the customer is taking on your site, what is the best offer to make to this customer, right? And then also very important, on the right channel. So I suppose we all think of when we engage on websites, it's normally web chat, but it shouldn't be limited to web chat. It could be a voice call, it could be email, it could be content offers, it could be WhatsApp, it could be whatever channels our customers are using to communicate to us as a company. So to predict the right channel to contact that person on. And then, of course, very important, inside your organization, this is exactly what Genesis enables in that journey, is to, in real time, connect the right resource in your organization that has the most probability, or the best probability, to achieve that positive outcome, i.e. influence that buying decision for the customer, with the right context. So when that interaction comes in, coming back to the omni-channel service gap, provide the agent with a visual indication of what that customer's journey has been and why they're actually contacting you, or why we've engaged. Again, helping the agent to show empathy and to influence that buying journey. And of course, all of this together means more conversions, because you can influence that buying journey. Now, when we're talking about the right resource, that could also be a chatbot, right? So another application of AI. So you might already have a chatbot deployed, and you could easily decide based on the journey whether you should invoke the chatbot, maybe to handle a lightweight kind of question and then hand off to the agent with full context, or directly to the agent, maybe based on the lead value of the customer. So you could have 10,000 rands worth of items in the shopping cart, which means that let's send them directly to an agent if we can, to influence that decision. Just without boring you too much, just some results we've seen in the market. Marks and Spencer's in the UK, they've deployed it. They've seen an 8.2% increase in online conversions, which is quite a big number when you get down to the pound value, I suppose. Smith's online toy superstores, again, also UK, 30% reduction in cart abandonment. Again, talking back to that profit margins that we're always chasing. And then lastly, Property Guys, on this slide, obviously we've got a lot more, but come to our booth when we're done. 20% increase in sales, improved customer experience, as well as reduced costs to acquire those leads. Okay, so what we're looking at there is the Genesis Cloud platform. again, running on Amazon Web Services. So it's basically accessible wherever you've got an internet connection and a browser. And the same platform was used both for your customer engagement side as well as your employee engagement side. So this is where your agents will transact with customers when they contact you, but also internal collaboration between, let's say, internal business items like with chat or video calling or whatever the case might be. But breaking down the silos that we've seen with in normal, well, I wouldn't say normal, in many companies where you've got customer service running their own silo, we've got marketing and sales running their own silo, and when marketing runs a campaign, they don't always inform the customer service side, so all of a sudden customer service gets an influx of 5 million calls, and they don't understand why, and it's because marketing sent out a marketing campaign, and perhaps something went wrong. So this is to break down the silo, so everybody works on the same platform to have visibility. So me as a marketing or a sales, or even just a supervisor from the contact center service side, driving sales through service, I can go into the platform and go to see what's happening on my website at this point in time. So I can see in real time who's on my site. Now it's a little bit faded, so you won't see the colors, but on the left-hand side, you'll see the colored green dots being people active on the site at this point in time, and the gray ones being active recently on the site. So you can see in real time who's on your site and what they're doing. On the right-hand side, you'll see those colored blocks, and that's all the segmentation that's happening. So depending on what the customer's journey is, maybe they've clicked on a specific product, maybe they've come from a specific marketing campaign. Based on those attributes, you can segment them, and obviously afterwards report on that. So if I look at a specific journey over here, I can see the journey that person's taken on the website, and I'll show you that happening in real time at the moment. So you'll see the landing page. They've navigated here. They've submitted some information over there. They've added a product to their cart, as an example. They've matched a specific persona and segmentation over here, and so on and so forth. The very important thing to see here is this bottom part. And that's the AI, its probability algorithms with machine learning. So you'll see the green bar, meaning that the outcome that we've defined, in this case, is to make a payment. So they're making a payment for something on the site, and that's the outcome we were trying to drive. So that means that they've actually made the payment, and that's why we've got a full green bar. At the bottom, you'll see a bit of red. So there's a second outcome we're tracking on this site, which is residential hot lead. And they started on that journey, but then they went away from that journey, and that's why you'll see red. So they started up to, let's say, 10%, and then it went to 0 because they made a payment. So that's the AI running in real time as the customers are going, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Right. And the important thing here that I have to hop on is on the left-hand side, there's a lot of little buttons here, and that's where you as a business user define the activity or the behavior. So that means that you don't have to go to the web developer to go and deploy stuff on your website. Once you have this running on the website, like Google Analytics, you influence what you want to do from this interface. So you don't have to have developed it. It all talks to the agility and the capability to immediately influence what's happening on your website based on what's happening, right? So it gives the business, let's say, the power, or empowers business to influence those journeys and drive the outcomes. Right, so now we know who the customer is, and that could be related back to your CRMs. So the moment the customer identifies himself, maybe by email address, you can do a lookup maybe to Salesforce or whatever your CRM application might be, and therefore you've identified the customer, and now you know who they are, and you can track them accordingly against your CRM if you wanted to. At the bottom, we can also see the outcome predictions running. We can see the login. We can see the login information that's now provided. So I'm going to go to, I'm looking for residential solar panels, and keep an eye on the left as we're updating. So reading through the information, it all looks good. Yes, putting my information. Yes, I am a homeowner, and I'm going next. All right, it updates immediately. I can see what I've just submitted. I'm a homeowner matching a segment over there. Putting my address information. Yes, next. Right, again, we're updating. Now, make a payment has gone down completely, because this is not the journey somebody making a payment will take, according to machine learning. This is something a residential hot lead would do. And that's why the bottom bar will green go up. The probability will go up as I'm carrying on, and the make a payment will go down. So that's the AI running. Right, so now I'm going to click away. So I'm going to say, well, I'm not too sure, right? And because I've clicked away, you'll see at the bottom the outcome going down again, because now I've diverted from the outcome that we were trying to achieve, which is I want to apply for solar roof. So that's gone down. And because that's changed, that little content offer on the right that you can create and control on the Genesis Cloud platform now pops up to say, hey, don't go away. If you carry on, remember there's a tax credit of 30% if you do maybe Eskom gives us rebates if you do solar panels. And when the customer says, oh, okay, great, I didn't know that, even though it looked very expensive, I can go and check it out. I can read about that tax credit, and I can complete the purchase, right? So that's one way of influencing that buying behavior, to say, okay, don't go away, outcome predicted, you've gone away from the journey, here's something to pull you back into the journey, and they complete it themselves, because we're all digitally savvy, we can help ourselves, right? Okay, so now, fast forward a few years, and we all know batteries gets to an end of life very soon. So I've now got my solar panels running, I'm all happy. I log into my email, and the marketing pane has sent out an email. Right, I see, okay, well, there's an email. And the marketing campaign says, okay, great, hold on. Here's some info for you, and we've just added a maintenance page to us. And I know that my batteries aren't functioning as they're supposed to be functioning. So I click on that, okay, great. I want to see what's that all about. So I open the link from the email, get back to the site. We immediately know who the person is based on that, the email address where that clicks come from. So we know it's me, I suppose. And on the left-hand side, we're picking that up. So if I go refresh, where am I? There am I. And now you'll see, notice there, the GSOL newsletter. So that's marketing attribution happening. So now we know the customer's coming from that email. So now we can handle them differently if we wanted to. We can send them, we can immediately perhaps give them a content offer to say, you know, great, thank you, Mr. Customer. Here's a special price for you as an example. Whatever you want to do, whatever your approach might be. So I'm going to say, okay, great. I want to learn about those. I need to replace my batteries as an example. So I go down, I look at the solar panels. Okay, these batteries look pretty great. So I'm going to say, great, I want that. Okay, so we can see I've got those batteries there. I'm going to add them to the cart. On the left-hand side, we immediately see that we've added something to the cart, the customer, what they've added. I'm going to say, okay, great, that looks like a good price. I'm not really paying attention. I'm carrying on. And I'm going checkout. So this is the checkout stage. And this is exactly where our cart abandons happen, right? So now I'm filling all my information. I need to put in my credit card information. 10 seconds there. Okay, don't worry. I'll be done in a second. And then as I do, okay, I'm not too sure. I'm going to abandon the cart. Right. So the moment I do that, and I didn't go active here. Give me a second. We get that offer. So now we're trying to inject to say, hey, come back to the cart. Say, hey, you've got a discount applied. Do you want us to chat to you? Yes. Start chat. So instead of being in the face of the customer all the time during the journey, only get into the face when you have to. And when they accept that engagement, you answer the engagement on the left. The agent can now start and chat to the customer to say, hi, how can I help you? But very importantly, the agent at that point in time has the full context of that journey and why the customer is interacting with you. So they can show that empathy and help the customer complete that purchase with a discount. All right. So I've run out of time, unfortunately. So if you want to see more, come to our stand at number 12. And hopefully, yeah, we can show you some more. So thank you very much.